Okay, today we have Tracy over here. Tracy's a UGC creator who has collaborated with international brands such as Rare Beauty, Rimmel London, Photobook, Uniqlo, and a lot of big international brands. So how long have you been doing UGC so far, Tracy?
So I started in the pandemic, so 2020 until now, so almost 4 years now, yeah.
Almost 4 years, okay. And she's, made some good earnings, and she's like sort of like a, first starting out with a decent sized following. So you don't need like a big following to be like a UGC creator, even like with like 1,000, 2,000 followers, that's usually like more than enough. So we just got a couple of questions for you, Tracy. So first off, like how did you first come across UGC? How do you like first get to know about this?
Okay, so when I was doom scrolling in the pandemic, I came across this one content creator that's basically talking about another stream of income other than as being a KOL or influencer. So I was curious about it because usually if you gonna need like an earning in social media, you need to have a lot of followers. So when she said that all you need to do is either your camera, of course your camera, and then maybe your hands or your face for as like the product itself, but you don't need a big following. Like even 0 followers could be enough because basically UGC is a content creating for the company. So I was very curious about it. I want to explore more, so I followed the content creator and how she does and how she makes videos and all create the content for the company itself. So yeah, after that I was like curious. I looked up which company or brands that would like to give us some opportunities for new UGC. So yeah, that's how I started UGC basically.
Okay, that's a great start to UGC. And like when it comes to like learning the technicalities of it, like how to create like a portfolio, how to edit the videos, because I think that is the major like learning curve for most people, like how to reach out to brands. Like how did you learn this, or like who taught you this?
So basically I followed a few established UGC in TikTok or Instagram, and then I tried to look up their portfolio because usually they will attach their own portfolio for brands to look into. So I usually like look up into like up to 5 portfolio and look at which portfolio that suits me well. So at the end I used Canva as my portfolio because it's easily accessible for everyone. It's not a PDF where you need to download. All you need to do is click my Canvas links and you can see all of my past video and then my past creations in that website. And since creating the technicality basically is a trial and error for me, but since I like making content personally, like beauty, a lifestyle, so I just learn from how I do content on a daily basis. So all I need to do is like record stuff on a daily basis and then try to see which one that I could improve more and then learn from there. And sometimes I do look up for, let's say, ads from KOLs or even like the well-established UGC, because with that example I could just follow what they've been doing or just like an example of me, so I can either recreate or do what suits for my creation.
Yeah, that's very smart, and that's what we recommend as well, to our students and members. Like there are so many UGC types of videos, there's like unboxing, before and after, lifestyle, day in the life, so many different types. But even within those types, there's like so many ways you can create a video, So the best is just to go to the ads library on TikTok, Facebook, see what's really working, ask the brands like, hey, do you want me like which of these references do you want me to recreate as closely as possible? That's the easiest, rather than like trying to do something from scratch. So that's great. So like what is it like working with brands as a UGC creator, Tracy? Like, what is it like working with brands? What's the process like, and all that?
Usually, when I approach to brands or brands approach to me, we either attach our portfolio and they attach their creative brief on what they expect us to do. So basically, for me, I camouflage to what they expect us to do. So let's say for Rare Beauty, because it's a very aesthetically pleasing video that they like to do. So I lean towards that. But if let's say I was partnered with Uniqlo, they prefer towards like a lifestyle kind of outgoing video. So I adapt to their personal likings to do that, and so I usually don't stick into one style alone. So whenever they ask me to do like feedback after I submit the first draft, I usually give them some feedback why I did that. But if they still want me to revise those content, then I'll do it. It's just that as long as they give me a reasoning why I need to change it. So I usually change some of the content inside the video, but mostly I camouflage towards their brand personality rather than doing as my own brand, because as a UGC you're basically making content for the brand, so you need to stick to the brand's personality and brandings.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, you can have like these reference videos, like, hey, brand, I'm gonna reference these kind of videos, but I gotta like match your brand like style from your existing videos already, and take elements from it as well. So that makes a lot of sense. And usually, like, how many revisions do you have to like redo or re-edit for the videos?
Majority, they usually ask us to revise like twice maximum, but some brands, they do like to have a bit more specific revision where I need to change up to like 4 times. But mostly all of my clients was like only 2. Even when I submitted the first draft, they just approve it straight away. So that's pretty much straightforward for the revision. As long as you stick into their brief, everything should go pretty smooth. Yeah.
Okay, so 2 sort of brief. Okay.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like editing the videos, like, what software do you use to edit the videos? What's your process for like recording the videos, editing it? I know you mentioned like you reference videos that's proven from the ads library, but how do you like, what apps you use, like how do you like edit it yourself, the nitty-gritty?
Okay, so I use CapCut as my main editor, but let's say if it's like a more complex video, I usually use Final Cut Pro for Mac, because I use Mac, so I use Final Cut Pro. But majority of my UGC videos, because it's for social media, it's not for like a big channel like YouTube or a TVC, so most I use as using CapCut and CapCut phone and also CapCut desktop. So yeah, those 2 editor.
Okay. And people think like CapCut is like so complex to learn and stuff. Like, did you like self-teach yourself, or like do you like go to YouTube to learn CapCut? Or
for the basic, actually, I just learned it by myself, because CapCut is pretty straightforward. It's even now TikTok editor, it adapts to CapCut a little bit, where you can replace your video with the current video and etc. But CapCut is pretty straightforward. But let's say there's like a trending transitions going on. Usually in Instagram or TikTok, there is people that gives tutorial on how to do things. So I usually follows them, how they do the editing and transition wise. So I could keep up with the trends as well. But majority, basic wise, you can actually learn CapCut by yourself a little bit. Yeah.
it's so simple.
Yeah.
And now like the TikTok app itself is such a good video editing tool that you can even like edit from the video on TikTok itself, and you download it before you upload it.
Yeah.
So you can download without the watermark, or even you can like still like upload it, but use like an app like TikSnap and like download without the watermark. Plus the TikTok app itself is such a great free video editing app. You know, it has all the features you need, super simple to use, super easy to use, and it's free. You know, the best part is it's free.
Yeah.
So the next question is like, are you in like a community of like other like UGC creators, or like how do you get like your inspiration? Where do you keep up with the latest updates and stuff, you know, when it comes to this kind of space?
Community wise, I think I just followed a few of the major UGC or major KOL that's specific in transitions and sound trends, but for community wise for UGC I haven't been included into those type of community, but I'm trying to do it in the future. So far I don't really follow any community, just like a few followings for a certain KOLs or UGC to keep up with the trends. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Next most important question is like, how do you get clients? You know, like how do you like reach out to brands, or brands reach out to you? Like, what's the best way to get clients as a beginner? You know, let's say somebody's like starting from scratch, they want to get clients, land brand deals. Like, what's the best way to start with that?
Usually I go through their social media email. That's one, because let's say if you go to Rare Beauty, you click to their Instagram bio, usually they will put their social media email in the website or their bio. So I usually go through that, or I slid into their brand's DM. That's pretty manual and a bit taxing, but that's the beginner that I do for the first 2-3 years now. And the other is like some of the UGs that already have been doing for quite some time. They usually make one video where it's basically asking for the brands to comment in their video and basically say like, please comment your emails, so the other UGC could reach out to them easily. So that's why one of the reason why I follow some of the major UGC, because they like to help the community to get more brand deals and easy access to the brands. Because let's say if we email to the, let's say, customer service email, it doesn't really, we don't get the response that we want, like partnerships and everything. So they do have a specific email that we need to email to them. So yeah, basically just to get into like this one community where the brands will comment their partnership emails or social media collabs email, and you can just email them. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. So, you know, very simple, you know, as you share, you know, reach out by email from the emails on the website, slide into their DMs on Instagram, or as you share, you know, like nowadays there are a lot of UGC platforms that connect the creators with brands. So those are like the best places to sort of apply for, because those brands are already actively searching, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. So third final question is like, what's your biggest sort of like challenges or struggles, you know, when it comes to being a UGC creator?
Maybe time management, because at UGC we are basically a freelance, and then let's say the brand need the video within a day, so you kind of need to adjust to their timing and then adjust your timing to their deadlines, and as well with your own personal times, because let's say you've accepted like 10 brand partnership and all of the deadlines are close, so you really do have a very good time management between the brand's content. So yeah, for me it's time management the biggest struggles.
Okay, yeah, because you know, sometimes like you get time consuming. Let's say like they pay you, you know, like let's say like $100 for one video. If you take 8 hours or you
It's
take
not-
like 1 day
Yeah.
and you're getting paid like less than minimum wage, you know.
Yes.
But it's okay when you're first starting out as a learning curve, you know, like you get to learn, you gotta like learn how to do it. Then over time you get faster and faster, you know, you get better at it. But time management, yep, that's one thing, you know, like learning how to like do things more efficiently while not compromising on the quality. And also like, because as you say, you know, this is like freelance work, you know, it's not like somebody said, oh, you need to clock in this time, clock out this time. So like you really need to be ahead and proactive in terms of like getting things done, you know. Got it. Okay. Second final question is like, what's the best part about being a UGC creator?
Obviously it's the flexibility, because you don't really have to, like what Royston said, you don't need to really clock in and clock out. So the flexibility really gives me a freedom where I could meet up with my friends, meet up with my family if they come in and see me, and then like honestly, because I do have a full-time job, so it's a bit of a hard time for being a UGC, so extra income is also a very nice thing to have in this economy. So yeah, it's mostly the flexibility as well, even though like you really need to do your time management well, but the flexibility what drives me to do UGC. And being creative, it's pretty fun for me being creative in the creative industry, so it really helps to just do what I like been doing for a couple years, and to get the outcome as like the commission and everything that could help me in making another better UGC video. So yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Like most people in our community, you know, they usually have like a job, you know, and this is more of like a side thing when they're first starting out, which is what we recommend. You know, like it's better to like have your like stable job and like, you know, slowly explore this before it can potentially like be a full-time income. And as you shared, you know, like nowadays in like today's economy, it's always really important to have a second stream of income, and as well as that flexibility. Nowadays, like most people prioritize the flexibility in terms of like their work schedule, in terms of being able to like, you know, work whenever they want to, like, and have the freedom to like, you know, have time in between the day, you know, rather than like having to commute to an office, for example. So it totally makes sense. Final advice is like, what's the best practices or advice for people first starting out as a UGC creator who wanna, you know, experience success like you?
I think it's not the best tips, but you can practice by recording your daily activities, so you kind of get the idea on holding a camera on a daily basis, and also whenever you finish recording or by the end of the day, don't forget to folder the images, the content, because it kinda get easily cluttered, especially let's say if you use your phone as your personal camera, as well as with your personal social media, so it kind of got cluttered easily. So for me, for the best practices could be just record your daily activities, remember to folder those videos and content, the pictures, as well as always keep up with the trends, as well with how you can and learn more to edit stuff, because right now, even though transitions and everything kind of helps on getting the eyeballs of in the very messy social media world, so for me it's practicing how to edit and practice how you hold the camera, try to find more than 2 angles to record, because usually people tend to like a very nice more than 2 POV kind of angle in a one video. So yeah, that could help as well. And also don't forget to wipe your lens before shooting something. So yeah, those are the very like basic tips that I learned in the very beginning of my UGC journey, and by time you kind of get the hang of it. So yeah, those are the tips from me.
I think what I'll add on that makes a lot of sense, like beyond the short-term money as a UGC creator is like the skills that you learn. These are lifelong skills, in terms of like creativity, like how to edit a video, how to like shoot great videos and stuff. And even if like let's say you're applying for like other like part-time or full-time like social media work and stuff, or like marketing work and stuff, like all this are part of a portfolio that would be very useful, like when potential like employers or like brands, maybe you can even upsell them like being a part-time social media manager for them. And if they see like, wow, like Tracy, you're like, if I want you to manage my social media brand, like your own social media brand looks great, you have nice aesthetics, like what a great video is, how to do UGC yourself. So maybe what if like I hire you to be the UGC manager, So people forget like a lot of these skills would be part of your resume portfolio, whether you're still, doing like side or full-time work. Like these are like lifelong tangible skills that would really pay dividends for the rest of your life, So beyond the monetary gain is the experiences and skills that you get to learn and the expertise. Okay, cool. Tracy, so really appreciate your time. Any final words of wisdom you want to say before we wrap up?
Don't think so. Maybe just like keep doing it, even though you don't feel like doing it. Just keep on pushing, because sometimes in the middle of the journey you just don't feel like doing it, but at the end of the day you will see the outcome, and you'll be grateful that you just keep pushing till the end. Yeah,
I think that's such an important word of advice, because like you're totally right. Like there'll be a lot of instances where you don't feel like motivated, you feel like demoralized, you feel like what am I doing? Just keep pushing through and you'll be amazed, like eventually you're like, wow, you see the fruit of the results. And this is called delayed gratification. Like what you do today might not yield result, maybe in a couple of weeks, in a month, 2 months, 3 months, that you only see the result from the fruits of the action right now. So I think that is a very innocent but very, very powerful word of advice that Tracy has experienced. Like even you don't feel like it, just keep pushing through it. Eventually you reap what you sow. Yeah, I just want to share, like, Tracy's an introvert, but despite being an introvert, she's still successful with this. So you don't have to be outgoing, you don't have to be like outspoken on the camera and stuff. You can be an introvert and still be successful with this. So thank you, Tracy, and see you again in the next video.